Here, North Shore, the North Shore Hospital, and also down the Cape. Now, are most of you from this area here, the Boston area?
Yeah.
No. Plymouth, so our Cape programs. What was that?
Sorry, I thought you were going to take
Oh,
Quincy.
okay.
Okay.
So our adaptive sports program has 3 different programs all over. I feel like there's a lot happening down the Cape, which is great. So how many of you have not heard of our adaptive sports program yet? Not too many. Okay. That's pretty good. I'm glad. Not too many. So the types of things that we offer, and we do it right down behind the hospital on our dock, down by the flagpole way back there. It's a little further to get to, whereas when we were at the old hospital, it was far better. It was right in the backyard. But some of the activities that we do are windsurfing, stand-up paddling, outrigger canoeing, and if anybody doesn't know what outrigger canoeing is, you ever watched, well, some of you that, anybody close to my age? Anybody's here? Remember that show, Hawaii Five-0?
Oh, gosh.
Long Polynesian canoe. Those are outrigger canoes, and that's what we use. Those are those, they're deeper, and they have the outrigger which stabilizes. You can fit more people, and it's all about synchronized paddling, right? You're our resident expert on that, right? And David too. Well, no, you usually go, what do you usually do, David? Rowing,
I
biking?
do canoeing and windsurfing.
Canoeing and windsurfing, right. And in a minute, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. So we do that, we do kayaking, we have a great cycling program, and when Don was mentioning about the universal access thing, I'm gonna get into talking about that in more detail. But the type of cycles that we use are not your everyday bikes. When you think of cycling, you think of an upright 2-wheel bike. Hang on one second, okay? The bikes that we use, everything is adapted to meet the needs of each of you. So we have recumbent bikes, which are low 3-wheeled bikes. We have hand cycles, so you're cycling with just, so if you want to work on those arms, you know, you can do hand cycling or the foot pedal.
Wow,
and then there's
that.
chopper, which looks like a biker bike. That's one of my favorites. But there's all different types, you know.
Does it look like with the big wheels?
Yeah. I call those the grandma bikes.
No, like when they first started making bikes, they had the ones with big pumpkins.
Yeah, well, it's not like really big, but we have like big wheels in the back, you know. So there's so many different types that whatever, you know, meets your needs in terms of physical abilities, we adapt it, you know. So if somebody needs, you know, like a raised foot pedal or needs, say for example for you, you have that heavy bracelet, you would, you know, strapping your hand on the bike or on a paddle when you're in the boat. So where there's a will, there's a way, and
What can you think about paragliding?
well, we don't do that, but I'll tell you a few more other things. But and we do tennis too. And have you done tennis or no? You just do the canoeing, right?
And biking and
kayaking, right. So those are some of the activities, and we exactly. And maybe you want to mention just what you get from being a part of the program.
is it going to be outside? And it's a real challenge to do this. It feels so great.
See, right there, it feels so great. Just that freedom of being, in terms of like say canoeing or even on the bike, just being out on the water, and let me tell you, it's more enjoyable out here. It's a better view than the Charles River, in my opinion. But,
Wow, that
it's
way.
got the gas over here, but it's just knowing that you can still get out there and do these physical activities. And personally, I like the recumbent bikes better than the upright bikes. You know, I think they're the coolest things, and you know, it's just a great way to get around and to know again that you can still do these activities. That's the important thing.
What about fishing?
I'm going to tell you about fishing. in a second. Yep.
Tell
Yeah.
us all of us. Because
Absolutely. So with our Boston program, and everything's in the brochure, and like I said, those things will be available to you outside. We have adaptive rowing, so actual rowing for those who really like to row. And I think, Dave, you do the rowing series?
Yes, last summer I did the rowing classes that Spaulsing's program offered through the community rowing boathouse,
Right.
which was up in Brighton, on the river in Brighton. And because of that, I joined the community rowing boathouse adaptive rowing program.
Awesome.
And now each week I go there and take lessons in single-person boat rowing every Wednesday morning.
Now, look at that. See, one thing leads to another. You get that motivation. Let me tell you, I
I
saw
was
you
even,
when,
just
the
so
first
you,
time you went out last year, I saw you were like an expert right away.
No.
You know, he was like the
I'm not
the
that.
star.
I'm
Yeah.
not that, I have a lot to figure out. But I was in the biggest indoor rowing event around here is called the Crash Bee Sprints, which is held at BU. And at the community rowing, just let me tell you that they don't think of it as just a recreational thing that you go out there and all you're there for is to have fun. They want you to compete, even if you're adaptive. And adaptive for them, and in the rowing world, means a couple of things. It can mean that you can use your arms and your legs together, like I can. But it also can mean you can't use your legs, but you can only use your arms. And they fit you up with special boats that have fixed seats that support your back, instead of the rolling seat like I use, where you have to push with your legs. So if you don't have use of your legs, you can still do rowing. There's plenty of people that do that.
That's great.
And there's
And
plenty
so,
of people that don't have use of their back muscles, that just do arms.
so there's a lot of benefits then. And yeah,
Wow,
maybe not into rowing,
wow.
you never were a rower before, so maybe that's not for you. But
Yeah.
for those of you who are like competitive, had that competitive edge before maybe, then something like that is a great thing. We also have a riders club here. So the biking club just started on Thursday. So any of you who are avid bikers, who were before, who want to get out there and learn about these, different
Wow,
bikes
yeah.
and the recumbent bike, the hand
Right.
cycles.
On the street or
Yeah.
in the woods.
Oh, around the neighborhood. Yeah, in Charlestown, yeah. But also now, mind you, there are different programs, North Shore, Cape Cod, like the Cape Cod one, they go along the canal. They have a really great program, and all the riders.
How they enjoy Georgia by